Uh,
Are we live?
we are live and we're just wait for it to connect and then we're good to go. Hello everyone. Hello. It's Monday, January 20th.
20th.
Um yeah, 2025. Hello everyone. Welcome to our live discussion, meaningful conversation. Today we have our Susie McCrea is here with us. Hello
Hello.
Susie.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Good. Hello,
Good, good.
Michael. You-
Hello, Julie and Susie. Wow, double the pleasure, I say.
Wow. Ah,
This is so fun. So today we're getting together and we have a discussions about community service. So let's get started, Susie and Michael. What is community service? And because I know that in different area, different region, they say different things, right? People talk about volunteers, people talk involved. Last year we talked a whole lot about Oblast. I mean, for us, it's really a community service. So if you, Michael or Susie, would you talk a little bit about what is community service and what are the keys aspect that we consider that, or in our opinion, that's community service?
yeah, sure. I can start off, Michael. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. And it's Martin Luther King Day here in the United States. And our new president just got inaugurated. And it's cold as heck with about 6 inches of snow on the ground. But other than that, life is, everything's great. Everything's going great. Um, I was on the Dream Team webinar at the end of the year and spoke in more detail, just some things that I've been doing and been involved with. And I did that because I thought it would be helpful to talk to other people about that and just the reward you get for being involved in different things in your community, and also what it does. And this is really, really important, especially if you are in a business or you have something of value to offer people. It's who can you help instead of who can I get, which is a lot of times when people are in a business or they are sharing something, their mind is ticking. Who can I get? Who can I get? Who can I get? And what I'm presenting is do a 180 on that and shift it. Who can I help? Because when you come from that mindset and from that way as to how you are putting yourself out in the world, helping friends and family, giving back to your community, all different activities you do every single day, if that's in your head, who can I help? You're going to find that you are going to be more curious when you're with people. You're going to ask questions when you're with people. You're going to meet new people. You're going to have this aura about you when you're around people. So, Julie, your question was, what is community service? And I know people watching this and people all over the globe already do a lot of things within their communities, community service, volunteerism. I'm on my second board of directors now. I jump into different activities going on in the area to help out. So community service can be that. So I'm going to share just a little bit about the things I've been doing recently and some of the interesting people I have met. Um, back, let's see, it's almost 6 years ago. My parents went into an assisted living, which is a nonprofit run by the state. It's like a level 4 rest home, very small, one building. And the first thing I did, because I really loved their concept and their vision, I said to the executive director, do you have volunteers or what can I do to give back? Because it was in my hometown. My parents really loved it there. And she said, well, we'd like to have you on the board of directors. Well, I've never been on a board. I didn't know anything about what my responsibilities were. And she said, don't worry, it's new to a lot of people. She gave me some information, and I've been on the board almost 6 years. And um, it's volunteer. This board of directors, you don't get paid for it. You volunteer your time. So the things that they found that I could give back to this board of value were things I had done in my career, which were, human resources, personnel stuff, managing projects, technology, other things like that. Whereas there's other people on the board who are financial, we have bankers, we have an insurance agent, we have a lawyer, we have a nurse, we have all different people in the community that have come and gone on and off of our board that add different value and attributes to the board to help make it effective so we can give back to the organization, to the residents, and to the staff. So as you're listening to this and you're thinking, geez, I'd like to give back somehow or do something, start thinking about your attributes. What are you good at? What can you give back to an organization? You don't have to be on the board of directors, but you can, look for different ways to volunteer. So as life goes on, and I've met all these people, and you guys know I love to talk. I love to ask questions. I am a curious person. My family says I'm a nose bag. That's just, kind of someone who's nosy. Whereas I look at it more like I find people very interesting and I like to know their story, where they're from, what they do, their children. Those are the kind of what things inspire them, what kind of activities do they do. So I've done that my whole life. And I think it's probably something I learned from my dad. And it's also a way for me to feel comfortable in a situation, in a crowd or whatever. I like to ask questions. I like to break the ice. And Julie and Michael, what I've learned is we are all there on this one particular board for a purpose and a vision for what we want to do to help this assisted living. And that's what we're there for. Yet we all have very different backgrounds, very different lives, very different careers, very different things we're interested in. So now connecting with all of these people, knowing about them, their children, their grandchildren, what things they might struggle with. Already, I know so many people just within that realm that I can help. And I will be able to help them, with our business. And they will welcome it because they know, love, and trust me. And they know my commitment to what I've been doing to help be on the board. And now when I hear people struggling with different things on marketing or emailing or even in their businesses, getting customers or whatnot, I'm like, I'm going to be able to help these people. So that is one way to give back to the community, is either be on a board or volunteer, because it feels good too when the staff, the residents and the staff are very appreciative of us serving on the board to help make it a better place. It's very rewarding, and the relationships I have built in that community of the Lathrop home, it's like, it's for life. So then I started bringing my dog to the Amherst Dog Park, which is not about a mile away from the house. And now all of a sudden, I have this whole new community inside this dog park with especially the small dogs that I have met. And we were all there for one purpose, just like when I'm talking about the Lathrop home at the Amherst Dog Park. We were all there because we love our dogs and we want them to have fun. We want them to play. Well, in the meantime, the rewards I've gotten from that is I have met so many different people with all different backgrounds, all different lives, all different stories. And we're there for the dogs, but now we all go there at the same time almost every day because we love to be around each other, talk. I know everything about these people because I talk a lot. I'm curious. I ask questions. And what we recently did was they asked me to be the chairperson for a Halloween dog party. And I said, you know what? I can add some value back to this community. I can help them with the email marketing, the graphics, going around in the town, getting volunteers to help. So I did that. And you know what? It felt great. I gave back some things that I know I'm good at. I let the things I'm not good at, I let other people do that. I did the things, I was the master of ceremonies. I had a big blowhorn. And the reward was more people had came up to all of us and said what a wonderful event, how much fun they had. They got to meet new people. And even the people volunteering said, geez, I wasn't sure if this was something I wanted to do. And now I'm so glad because it was my favorite F word.
Fun.
Fun. That's what they kept saying. This is so much fun. So we ended up doing that. And then just recently, because I'm involved in that community, one woman said, maybe we can collect cans of soup for the local survival center so we can give back to the community because they all came out to our potty, our dog potty, we called it. So we just did that last week and we collected over 200 cans of soup. People came, and you know what? People loved doing it because it felt good. Okay. So here you have, you know, more people doing more, some doing little. It didn't matter. People who came to the dog park, people who saw it on our Facebook page, they felt good. And that's my whole point, is that it doesn't have to be this huge thing that you do for community service, but by getting involved in January after the holidays, where everyone kind of sometimes is, wants to get over the hump a little bit, people were showing up with boxes and full of cans of soup. And we were able to do that very quickly in just, a few short days. So, once again, I have met a lot of interesting people, and there's a whole long list of people that I know I can help. I can help with some of the tools and the products that we are going to have very, very soon to help them. One gentleman is an older gentleman who is a Pulitzer Prize winner, and he's writing his second book on Robert McNamara, who was I think he was the defense secretary for JFK, president in the United States back in the 60s. He just finished this biography, and I'm thinking, I know I can help get the word out for Bill with his book. There's other people who own their own small businesses within there. There's a woman who's a vocalist. There's a woman who's a psychiatrist, all different walks of life. And just in conversation, being involved, we're all there for the dogs, but yet we are a community that is very interconnected and we know a lot about each other. So that is just another example. And then I was just asked to be on another board for the small let's see, New England Small Farm Institute, which is near and dear to my heart. I had know nothing about farming. I really don't know much about gardening, but this group is kind of connected with stuff my dad used to do when he was the head farmer on this big farm at a state institution. And so we're working on uh, saving the. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
We're listening.
Saving. Well, my thing said to connect my earpod. Like, don't tell me I've been talking this whole time. So saving the barn that is near and dear to our family's heart. We have the old barn there, and it needs a new roof. It needs some other things. So I shared the GoFundMe, and an old friend that I grew up with. She's an artist. She just did a watercolor. I helped promote it during the local town fair, the fundraiser, and they started talking to me. I talked to a lot of people, and now I'm on that board. And I went to my first meeting this month. And on that board, some of the things that I'm going to help them with is social media, email marketing, graphics, doing some fundraisers, getting the community involved, maybe putting together a volunteer program. So enough about me talking about myself. The reason I'm doing it is maybe to spark some ideas for people watching this. And a lot of you are probably already doing that or a lot more than the things I'm doing. But I think if you put your mind at who can I help, and you get involved in groups or communities, even groups in social media where people ask questions and you can help answer their questions. Think about your attributes and what values you can add back, and join those groups. Look around for volunteerism. Look around for the things you can do, because the reward coming back to you is tremendous, because as you give, we all know, once you give, the more you get more back. And also it gives you an unbelievable way of thinking about who you can help in life, especially when we get into chapter 2 and we're able to help people with products and services. So I'm going to let one of you guys talk.
That was awesome, Susie. Thank you so much. There you have it, everyone. Everyone, literally what Susie has covered was literally what is community service, how she was able to involved in certain things that she does, how she started it, and literally what funds and the impactful that she has on other people. I'd like to hear from you, Michael. What is it about community service, how you see it?
Well, it's certain, similar to Susie. I've been involved with a lot of community organizations because to me, giving and especially giving back should be a way of life, right? I'm sure all of us have had some sort of help along the way, right? Whether it be from a child growing up, there's always been different people that you interact with that may have touched your lives in some way, shape, or form, right? And I think all of that can contribute to who you are today. And so therefore it's always a good thing anytime you can give back in any capacity, right? Whether it's a boys and girls club, whether it's some volunteering within the school system, anything that we can do, within our neighborhood. You have people who are neighborhood watchers, etc. There's so many different ways that we can get involved and help out your community, because you are part of a community. No matter where you live in the world, you are part of something, right? And what better way, to interact, to develop relationships. Like, it always blows my mind when people say, "Oh, they don't know anyone," or they can't talk to nobody, or I'm like, you don't live in a vacuum. Like you're not in a rock somewhere. You're not in a cave. It's a very easy way to interact with others is to volunteer your time, giving back of your time. Here in our province, they actually give you a certificate. If you volunteer for like 5 years and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. And so you're not doing it for the certificate, right? But I'm just saying they acknowledge the fact that they are citizens that are willing to give up themselves. I knew a gentleman that it's almost like it was his calling. Like from I'd say at least 50 years, he was giving back to the community. It can always rain or shine, right? We can always count on him, right? So um, it's important, I think, for people to be able to do just that. Give back to themselves. It could be any situation. Maybe you're tutoring someone. You know what I mean? Maybe you like to hula hoop, and so you're sharing that activity with others in the community as a simple way to exercise, get moving. Right? You have a walkers club. You know what I mean? And so you decide to get people together, and you guys go for walks collectively, right? So there's so much that we can do, like, and even within business, it's a great way to meet people, to network, right? Is to give of your time, is to volunteer. And as Susan said, you don't have to be on a board, you don't have to be a board of director of an organization, but there's always community organizations that are looking for volunteers. Your hospital, your local hospital, they're always looking for volunteers, right? There's so many different areas that we can help someone, and you never know the impact that you may have. You know what I mean? I volunteered my time, for example, coaching, right? And again, just giving back because I love to see children, young kids, young adults. I love to see them excel in whatever they're doing, and it's something that keeps them occupied, keep them out of trouble. You know what I mean? When people are idle and they got nothing to do, they all, somehow they find trouble. They say, no, trouble found me. No, trouble didn't find you. You found trouble. So it's a good thing to do, definitely. And I think all of us have something that we can contribute. All of us have something that we can offer. Never think, that you don't have anything to offer. I'm sure you do. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be something that's monumental. Every little bit counts, right? Can you imagine if every single person in your neighborhood, right, was looking out for each other? You know what I mean? It makes a massive difference, right? We've seen, the fires that's going on in California, right, for example, right? And people volunteering, not just financially, but volunteering their time, and any way that they can assist those who've lost their homes and so on. You know what I mean? There is so much that we can do, right? There's always something that you can always. There's no shortage. You know what I mean? There's always something that we can do, and we just have to just make up our mind to say that, what, we want to make a positive difference within our community, and so therefore we can, find ways and means to do just that. And certainly, yes, down the road, Susie, a lot more people will be able to be helped as you're in a better position, as you develop the resources and acquire resources to be able to reach out, maybe even create foundations and so on, whereby you can do a lot more within your community. So yeah, it is something that I think every single person should be involved in any capacity that they can. Maybe it's 1 hour a week, maybe it's 1 hour a month. You know what I mean? They certainly should do that because it's fulfilling as well. Like, you feel rewarded because, wow, I was able to help this person. I was able to help that person. It just makes a difference, right? Absolutely.
I agree with you, Susie and Michael. Community service is something that it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost anybody anything, literally. Well, unless you have events and stuff going on. But what people don't know is that it's a fear that holding them back. When you are spending some time with someone or with the community, the time that you are spent for them is so treasured by them. Like, for example, follow what we want. Let's say I'm going to give my example. I start playing pickleball and I love it. And what I know in my community, there is a court right next to where we are, where I'm living, but there's not a lot of people there. And I reached out to a few people. They said their fear of going out there. So if this is kind of focusing on the health of someone's, right? So you reach out. That is so small of what I did, is reached out to the community and say, hey, I want to play pickleball. Who wants to come? And there are so many people coming in because they was afraid to go out there and start. Helping people getting out of their fear is one way. So I would say, if you are thinking about doing community service, it's not about you have to go out there and creating something. You can reach out to the people inside your community or where you are living and see what rings a heart, what pull your heartstring. I got to give you one example, like Sherry Dursaway. She said, when I want to help people. I wanted to help people. She has an idea of, we can get together, go to one of the Costco, in California, and I know other places too. They have a wholesale called Costco. We can go out there and buy bunch of just boxes and boxes of diapers, and just giving out to people. Pick one day. That is another way of giving back. That's another the way of doing community service. So community service could be a lot of variety aspect, but we usually wanted to pick what pull our heartstring. Spending time with people, visiting older elderly people, or giving someone a drive. It could be called a community service as well. It could be anything. All it is that, are we willing to extend our hand out to help other people? A lot of people who has the ability to be a philanthropist, right? They create certain mission. They're doing a lot of other things, but we can work within what we have. If we have extra time, we can go and help and serve our community as well. So community service is a big thing, and everywhere around the world, people need people help. And when you are involved, and when we involve in the community service that we're doing, it's actually helping us. It's impacting our life much more than impacting other. And I think it's a great way to start. It's a great way to begin in 2025 if we haven't done so. Susie, you have anything else to add in?
Oh yeah, yeah. All of this is great, and Michael and Julie, you made me think of other things as people are sitting there saying, "Well, geez, I'm not like Susie who can go up and talk to anyone." Well, that's the story you tell yourself, number one. you know, yes, it's very easy to have a conversation. Ask people questions, and they will talk to you, and then follow it up with another question. But as you guys were talking, I was thinking about a lot of things that people watching this today, or going to be watching this, are already doing. Sometimes one of your friends or someone or it could be where your kids go to school, gets sick, and all of a sudden there's a meal train, and there's somebody coordinating it, putting it together. And someone may not be good at coordinating something like that, but they're good at cooking and getting other people to put stuff together. So now all of a sudden you're doing one thing together that is something you could get involved with quite easily. Besides the dog park, I walk my dog with a friend of mine, and we bump into all other dog walkers, and she had gotten injured on her leg. She ended up breaking an ankle, and all these people that were involved in where we walked, it was amazing how people want to come together and help her, bring her to doctor's appointments, walk her dogs. I helped set up a schedule for others to walk her dogs. And you know what? Exactly like you said, Michael, people feel good. There's a reward to it. And Julie, you said it too. We've got to remember that most people out there have big hearts, want to give back what they can. And when they do, I know that they really, really feel good about it. Okay. I'm just
It is
reading.
really, it's
Sorry
really
about the noise.
okay. Yeah, community service is something that we should, we all should. I mean, like, what whatever we choose to, but it is something that I feel it is big. It is big. And in
Yeah,
the
and it's
past
about if and once you do it, so you're talking about the pickleball as an example. I was talking about the dog park and meeting people, things I love to do. The conversations, getting to know everybody, helping each other out, because we are also going to do a phone tree if people need help with anything in the dog park, whether walking a dog, dog sitting appointment. There's 20 or 30 of us that's going to be, very easy to do, for people to get involved with. But Julie, me, I'm talking about what I'm doing. You're talking about just pickleball and getting involved. What happens though is there's a level of trust that you build.
Mhm,
Okay, so now being on those boards, volunteering my time at the town fair, being at the dog park, doing different things I'm doing, having conversations with people, following through on the things I said I'm going to do to help,
mhm,
taking action, and being a team player, learning about all of these people. Like you said, Michael, a lot of people say, well, I don't know anybody. Well, I, in the last few years, have met so many new people just by these few things I've been involved with. And they know me and they trust me.
mhm,
So now, if there's some way I can help them with something, whether it be with a business or some advice or products and tools or whatever, I know about them. I know about their families. I know because I asked a lot of questions. And now I will be able to say, you know what? I think I have something that's going to help you with this. Here you go. And it's going to, it's going to be simple and easy.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. I agree. I agree. And all you have to do is break out that bubble that you have. It's you build that relationship, and
Mhm.
it will benefit both way, the receiver and the giver. Whether or not it's time or your service to other people. And yeah,
Well,
anything.
the thing about it, Julie, is that you know so many people need a network, right? Like they do. Like somebody who um, is in sales, life insurance sales, real estate sales. Somebody who's just starting out in business, right? It's the best thing you can do is to network. You just can't be successful in life by yourself. It just doesn't work, right? If you go open up a restaurant, okay, can you imagine if you're well known in the community,
Mhm,
right? Like people know you because you've done so much. You don't think these people will show up at your restaurant? You know what I mean? If you're having a fundraiser, right? Again, because you're so connected within the community, because oh yeah, I remember so and so they volunteered as a coach for my child or whatever, or so and so was there in the library helping out the students, or you know what I mean, or this one was throughout the school as a volunteer with whatever the case may be. You understand me? Like you know when you see that person around all the time, all of a sudden now, maybe even politics, maybe they decide to be a city councilor or something, right? Running for mayor, whatever the case may be, right? Again, because of the connections, because of the people, that you've known over the years and been aligned with for whatever the reason may be. Again, it just makes things that much easier for you, right? Okay, you're in real estate and you're selling homes. Okay, but if everybody in the neighborhood knows you, guess who's they're gonna call? Assuming they like you, of course, right? I mean, who do you think they're gonna call, right? You know what I mean? When they're ready to sell a home or if they're looking to buy a home, etc. Right? There's so much can be done with connecting or networking don't mean that you're trying to sell somebody something all the time. No, it just means that you're connecting, right? And there's so many different layers of connections that you can achieve, right? It doesn't take much. People just have to just get up and do it. You do a little, then you do a little more, then a little more, and before you know it, it's like, wow, you just find yourself immersed in so many different areas, right? It just makes sense, right? Everyone should do it, right? Everyone should do it. Everyone, you can go knock on your neighbor. Again, your kids then come home and they're selling, cookies or something, right? Okay, but if you have a network, right? If you know people, people know you, it's so much easier. It's like you just snap your finger and all those boxes of cookies are gone because you know so many people. You know what I mean? If there's an emergency, right? And someone needs help, right? And so again, you can go to your network, go to your community, go to the people that you know that you've been volunteering with and all these things, and just says, oh, a good friend of mine just, an emergency came up, blah, 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 blah. They're looking for assistance. Can you help? All these different things, right? So it's not difficult to get out there and be known within your community, because that connection could actually even save lives. You know what I mean? It could actually even save lives. And you're networking with lawyers and doctors, and so now you're the go-to person in the community, right? Because you have well connected. So somebody says, "Oh, I'm looking for a doctor. Who do you recommend? I'm looking for a dentist. Who do you recommend?" And so on and so forth, right? These are the things that happen every single day. So yeah, people should get more and more involved when it comes to community service.
I agree, Michael. Well said. And when you were talking about it, it doesn't have to be that in depth, like you said. It's just little things of just being out there, even walking in your neighborhood and just talking to people and having discussions. There are so many people out there, and people generally, like I said, want to help each other and have someone to listen to too. I tell you, you ask questions, people like to talk. They'll fill you in on everything. It's all good. And it's not about, like you said, oh, geez, if I do this, then I'll have this list of names to do this, that, or the other. No, that's not the whole point of it. The whole point of it is to enjoy life, engage with people, have fun, go out there and think about how can I give back in ways that I'm good at giving back? Who can I help? Not who can I get? And I think if you go out doing that, there is an aura around you, a persona of this person really is out there for humanity, for, really wants to help people, is fun to be around. It's not like, that you're a pressure type person. Just be yourself and enjoy it. Do things you like to do. I love going to the dog park. We're all there because of our dogs. And now it's morphed into we're all there because we care about each other too. And it's become a whole community that is bonded now over time. And it's been fun. I've met so many interesting people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Susie and Michael, for being here. We do hope, all of us bringing this topic up, we do hope that it sparkles some idea in people's mind, right? And it's all about be the best version of yourself, right? What we are thriving to do every single day is be the best version. What you choose to do, what do you want your life to be? What do you want your legacy to be? And when we are all in the community, it's very nice, very rewarding to extend your hand to help other people. And so yeah, this is a great discussion. Thank you both so much, and thank you everyone for being here. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay warm.